Grand Rising, my people, peace, love, light. Yeah, the story is about the Uncle Toms of today. And who is the Uncle Tom? I will get into that in a short minute. But we're basing on the time of slavery camp, where Master was actually control the slaves. And he would always have this Uncle Tom who would literally sell out their own people, you know what I mean, just to eat around the table with Master and drink a glass of wine. He would literally destroy his own race. He would keep the cycle of slavery going. So now this Uncle Tom now, Master gave the slaves on the plantation a task to carry out. He ordered every slave pick 5 baskets of cotton. And he ordered Uncle Tom to make sure overlook the slave and make sure that they do that. And who doesn't do the work that Master require, you inform to Master and let Master know. And Master treat you good. So Master have his puppet, which is Uncle Tom. So Jim, one of the slaves, was feeling kind of ill. He only picked 3 baskets of cotton. He couldn't manage. So here goes Uncle Tom when Master got home in the afternoon. Master, Jim only picked 3 baskets of cotton. Master say, oh yeah? I thought I ordered everybody to pick 5. And Master say, okay, he calling the executioner. Give Jim 6 straps for me. So Master go and send the executioner to flog Jim. Jim get flogged, 6 straps. He's kind of sore and weak already, so it make him a weak. So Master say, throw him in the barn and give him 3 days rest. And then he'll go back out and do his daily task. 5 baskets of cotton. So, and that cycle was going over and over, and Jim got rewarded, Uncle Tom got rewarded for keeping Master informed of the daily activities as usual. Steak with a big plate of food to eat around the table with Master, and a glass of wine and a pat on the shoulder. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy, Uncle Tom. You've been a good boy. I like you for that. And hey, Master, yes, Master, anything for you, Master, anything for you, Master. So this situation is a situation that is still going on in our, let me give you the example of who is the Uncle Toms of today now. The Uncle Toms of today is the politicians, the civil servants, the magistrate, the judges, the prosecutors, and the bar association. All these criminal elements come together to keep destroying our indigenous culture, to discard our indigenous identity, to take away from our people and keep them as chattel property under the birth certificate, which was designed in 1492 to make you a chattel property for Master. And that's what goes on. Now the Uncle Tom now have his task to carry out, and he's keep doing it. So, and the cycle of slavery goes on right now as these states that is hide under the disguise as government, and your politicians keep the position of Uncle Tom to whoever owns the colony. In these colonies that is referred to in the Caribbean, so-called Queen owned 50 colony, and she literally admit that she don't own 50 islands, she own colony. But the ones who's upholding her colony and promoting genocide against their own people are the politicians and the civil servant, magistrate, judge, prosecutor, police, and bar association. Now we're getting back into this because we're exposing these criminals for who they truly are. Now, when Uncle Tom is in the barn, Master make sure send him. You go and you listen and you make sure know what all plans going on and how they're doing and what they're thinking. So I will know who's planning to escape from who's planning to overthrow in a coup. So Uncle Tom went, and you know, as usual, he go sit down with his little extra meal eating while the slave don't have as much as he eating because he's being the little sellout puppet. He literally destroying his own people for Master, you know, just to eat a meal or just to sit down around the table with Master and get pat on the shoulder like a good boy, just like a owner of a dog, patty dog, is the same way. He's a puppet, you know. So, and that's how the politicians, everyone, still are today. And that's how it still is today in the systems, okay? So just highlighting the truth for you people. So Uncle Tom now goes into the barn now and with the slaves while they're cooking, and he's sitting down, he's trying to be nice to one of the female slaves because he wants information how to carry back to Master. And so he's saying, oh yeah, I brought a nice piece of sweetbread Master wife bake. You want piece? So he's giving one of the slave female, trying to play nice to her. She eats, she play nice. And then she don't know he's up to scheme. So he's saying, so what's going on? What's the rest slaves them? How is all the male out there all by themselves and, you know, not much. And he said, what's going on? Is they planning something? You know what I mean? Let me know so I could join. So he's trying to bribe, and he's making her think now. He's loyal now, and he's going to join with them to do whatever to try to get away from this oppression. but it's just a cover. He's just a fraud. You know what I mean? That's just like the undercover officers in them security forces, which is the colony slave puppets. That's how they come out to try to hold down the so-called man who they claim sell so-called drugs, to try to break it down. The undercovers, this is the work they do. They sell out puppets. They would literally come in disguise and pretend they're a friend, even pretend they're smoking wrong you just to get information to go back to try to boss you. It's the same. The Uncle Tom issue still lives on. So we just get into it. So now he goes and he tell her, okay, yeah, he can tell me what's going on. He eat with her. He drink something with her. And poor, she don't even know that it's just a scheme he planning to find information to go back and tell master. So she tell him, well, Jim and the rest guys are planning a coup. They're planning to escape. And they say if they don't get ahead, they're probably gonna fight and, try to see how they could beat and kill master and his gang. Oh yeah? That's good. Okay. Thanks for telling me. I'll get back to you later. So he gone now, the evening come, master come home. He goes home and he sit down with master. He say, Master, come. I got something nice to tell you. You're going to love this one. And he sit down and he tell master, he say, Master, I sit down and I get to bribe one of the female in the barn, and she told me exactly what they was planning. She said they plan a little coup, the males, and they was planning to escape, and if they didn't get on the head, they would literally fight. You know what I mean? So master say, oh yeah? Master rung up crew from outside because master know he can't really, if the slaves really decide to rebel, slaves are more powerful and more stronger than master and his little crew. So master rungs up some extra people from outside and he come in and he said he's going to make an example. And I say, who's the ringleader? Master say, Jim. I'll say, oh yeah? All right. Master say, we're going to execute him in front of the rest. So master bring Jim and cut off Jim's head in front of the rest. And let the example show to the rest. Any one of you who trying to escape whatever try plan. And master whip every one of the rest 13 straps. So he left them sick for at least 5 days. Because when you get beat with those kind of buffalo skin leather whips, your back is whale up and it's blood all over. So they have to take up at least 13 days rest to heal. So master now go and tell him, say, good work, Uncle Tom. Carry him back in the barn. Carry him in the church. Bless him and say, the Lord bless you to do the duty of the Lord. And then he give him the steak with some nice meal. And he give him a glass of wine, and he say, praise Jesus bless you, and whatever. So now the cycle of slavery continue in such a destructive way that we destroying our own people. And it leads from that stage now to transfer now to these invisible corporation that is called state, where they put our own people in charge of us as what you call politicians, civil servants, magistrate, judge, prosecutors, all of them. And they all carried on the order and the duty of the queen. They signed allegiance to swear to uphold the duty of the queen. I solemnly swear. That's the first thing. I solemnly swear. And that swear that they swear is putting a curse on them because they literally destroy their own people for the colony just to create a revenue. And all that revenue is going into the queen pocket. The queen collects 80% of your tax. Politicians only get 20%. That's why they can't do nothing much for you. That's why they can't fix a road. They can't help the healthcare system. They can't do nothing for you. That's why the schools in Kingston is half broken down. The washroom don't work properly. The sewer system is overflowing. Water is running back because they cannot help you. They'll pretend they're doing too little thing and patch the road and do too little thing, try to fix up piece of school, still have it just to make it look good to the dumb dead, brain dead citizens, to make it look like they're doing something, because the brain dead citizens aren't aware that they're still under slavery and they're still promoting their own genocide by simply accepting to be a slave for master, by accepting the birth certificate fraud that takes them from being natural human and turn them into property as a person, and person has no standing in law. So the politician knows these things because when they sign into the House of Parliament and they study to be politicians, they already done learn the secrecy, but because they get big money, couple millions of dollars in the pocket, they accept it. So then again, it's the same thing as Uncle Tom. They're getting their reward to sell out their own people and keep the cycle of slavery, the genocide against their own people. So they literally commit genocide. All these people, politicians, magistrate, judge, prosecutor, bar association, civil servants, all of them, they commit genocide. And what police officer don't know, the definition of servant, it means slave. So listen to the word they call you. They call you civil servant. I don't think you have any clue that you're literally destroying your own people for a slave master, because the colony that you're upholding is not the real name of the land and is what has been used to thief your land and your resources and turn you into chattel property under the birth certificate fraud, which was issued born in 1492. The birth certificate was created in 1492 to chattel indigenous people as property. Get that straight in your head. And your Uncle Tom of today is your police officer, your magistrate, your judges, your prosecutor, all of them. Reason why you have me infiltrating and teaching the truth and repeating this is because I want to get into your head. Let it stay into your head. Just like how the politicians give you a reproductive speech in the media and the news radio station, in the TV station, and you would hear they put it into the school to keep it as a reproductive teaching to the children so that they would keep repeating it, just like a pray. They would love you to say like that so-called "Our Father pray, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." That's reproductive. So when it become the norm for you, it comes so easy, so it's automatically accepted in your brain because of reproduction. Well, it's the same way I'm coming to you. I need to give this here to you so that you would acknowledge that I am trying to set you free from the mental and the physical strain that you're under from slavery, and letting you to know that only when you subscribe to the birth certificate and accept yourself as a citizen and promote yourself as subject to massa and keep paying taxes to keep these colony up is when you keep promoting slavery against yourself and your ancestors and keep destroying yourself and promoting genocide against your race. And you can stop it by stop subscribing to it and stop promoting it, because these colony only exist because you feeding them. You literally giving massa your blood to survive. You're telling master it's okay, you like being a slave. You're paying master to slave you. You got to stop it, people. You got to stop promoting these things against yourself. You got to stop giving these politicians your money to pay this master to keep them as slave. Because the politicians, when the queen call on them, you see them, yes, your honor, yes, your honor. They're so punks. They're such puppets. Okay, they're such demonizing their own race and their own people. You see how they have you, and you're so indoctrinated and manipulated that you can't even see that you're being tricked into being a slave and subservient, and you can't even realize that all you're doing is destroying your own self. Okay, this is the Uncle Tom of today, and we got to get them out of the way. And the minute you stop giving massa and these politicians your blood, they die and wait away. You have to remember, these people are minority. You are the majority. If you get up today and stop fueling the system, stop going to work, shut the schools down, shutting these institutions down, the financial institutions, the bank, credit unions, everything, shut them down. Stop opening the business places, shut them down, and move away from them and the system. Don't you know that they will literally just collapse? You're the one who keeping the slave colony up. You don't have to promote slavery against yourself. You don't have to give these people power. You got to stop give them power. Your security forces are a minority. Your politicians are minority. They just have you manipulated. These are the Uncle Tom of today. They sell you out to the master, which is the queen. And the queen admit in Geneva, she do not own no islands. She own colonies. And the colonies are upheld by the politicians and the civil servant, magistrate, judge, prosecutor, and the bar association. These are the ones who promoting genocide against their own people, not me. All we did is just indoctrinate them, and they keep slaving their own people. The queen admitted that in Geneva. Okay? And these clowns, citizens, wouldn't wake up and see that. Stop being dumb and stand with the indigenous warriors like me and others and get these systems out of the way. They are called slave colonies. They need not exist anymore. Stop it. It is the same just as Uncle Tom literally killing his own people and destroying them for massa just to eat a steak. It's the same thing the politicians and magistrate, judge, prosecutors, civil servants doing, and the bar association. They're literally killing their own people for the thing we call fiat currency, which is the same paper dollar. Okay? Politicians doing that for a little extra money in the pocket. Okay? And they don't tell you that this is a slave colony that we shouldn't even promote and we should try to destroy it. because they're getting greed, the money that they're getting in the pocket. Okay? So we have to start thinking and stand up for our rights. People, stop being a puppet. The minute you subscribe to the birth certificate and call yourself a citizen is the minute you be an Uncle Tom. Okay? Is the minute you destroy your own self and promote genocide against you and your own people, just like the politicians and the civil servants, magistrate, judges, and prosecutor, and the Bar Association are doing every day of their life. You have to wake up, people. You're gonna get this message from me and other indigenous, aboriginal, same way. But you have to start to think critically and realize that enough is enough and it's time to destroy these colonies. Peace, love, light, my people. Wake up, citizens. Stop be brain dead.